Hi guys, my name is Christine Mann. I have fibromyalgia. I have my whole life and I am on the Guaifenesin Protocol. I started 6 years ago and have seen a remarkable improvement in all of my fibromyalgia symptoms. I want to help everybody get this right and to figure out how to get well on the Guaifenesin Protocol. I know there's a lot of details and a lot of new things that you have to learn, and so I'm doing some videos to help you, and if you need to, take out a pen and paper and jot down some notes. I've got a lot of links on my website that I will include with this video, and so that you can go through them and find the things that you need to find and get the help that you need. This is step 3. We are talking about mapping and symptom journals. Now, after you have been diagnosed by a doctor with fibromyalgia, that's a very important step. Not everything is fibromyalgia. You get all of your salicylate products switched over to salicylate free. You finish the book so that you understand what's going on and what's important in the protocol and why it works, what's going on with your body. And now the next step is to start a symptom journal. This is mine. I know you're not going to be able to see it completely, but I did some basic information a week at a time at the top, and then it's about 3 pages long, and it's just a ton. This is the generic one. It was my first week. So it's got 3 pages of all the possible symptoms that you're going to have with fibromyalgia. Now, everyone is going to be a little different with this. So what I did was I made it into an Excel file on Excel, and I edited out the ones that I've never had, and I can add symptoms to the list as I experience them. It's important to make sure that you note things like your medication, because if you are on a lot of heavy medication, heavy pain meds, then when you take your guaifenesin, if you're using a symptom journal to figure out your dose, your symptoms aren't going to change all that much, because the whole point of your pain meds is so that you don't feel those symptoms, right? So you will need to make sure that you write down how many pain meds, any changes. It helps if you start a day or a few days before you even start your guaifenesin, so that you kind of have a baseline to go by. But it's really not a big deal if you haven't done that. Don't stop guaifenesin just to journal for a few days. Okay, now this one here, this generic one, they said to do it like 1 to 10 for your numbers. Well, good grief, 1 to 10. You know how much adding that takes on your brain? I have fibromyalgia after all. So I switched and I started just doing 1 to 3. So if it's a really bad day, it's a 3. If it's a normal day, it's 2. If it's getting better, it's 1. If it's gone, it's 0, right? Awesome. And so the other thing that I wanted to point out, if you can see at the top, it says first week, not sal free. That's because when you first start the protocol, you're going to make mistakes. There's a few people that have photographic memory or whatever and just have amazing memory, even though they have fibromyalgia. And they're not going to struggle with any of these things, but I totally did. I washed my hands with soap at a restaurant that had aloe vera in it, and that blocks you. I had some mint candy after eating my meal. I got some sort of an infection in my mouth, and so I used vanilla extract, because you know how we are. We try to do everything as natural as possible, right? And so I went online and I found someone that said to try gargling with vanilla extract. So that's what I did. That blocks too. So I just wanted to share that with you, because you are going to have days where it's just, oops, it happened. No big deal. Just keep going. If it's happening every day and you are blocking continuously, you're going to have a hard time finding your clearing dose. So my suggestion is to stop your guaifenesin. If it's happening day after day, like 3 or 4 days in a row, you'll want to stop your guaifenesin for a day and then start up again, and that will be your starting date for the protocol, because you're relying on symptoms to find your dose. So basically what you're looking for is an increase in symptoms. So you want it actually to get worse. I know that's horrible and we hate the thought, and it is hard, but you can do it. And what it is showing you is that it is starting to pull those phosphates and those deposits out of your body, which can cause those symptoms to feel like a flare. But it's not a flare, it's a cycle. You're starting to clear it. It's a good thing. So you're looking for that increase in symptoms. Once you get that increase in symptoms, then you don't need to go up on your clearing dose. You can stay here and just keep making sure that you use your symptom journal, write down your dose, and continue to note your progress. Okay, this is really detailed. If you like this kind of thing, I have a link to it on my website. If you like it really, really simple, I know a lot of people have just their calendar on the wall and they just mark every day. They mark something that's the worst, something that's gotten better, and they just leave it at that. It's like 2 little marks on their calendar. I actually wanted to see my progress and see what things started to improve, and so that's why I wanted to mark it all down on here. And it has been fun to see. And I even ended up with some new symptoms as I started clearing. And the cycles brought up some painful feet that I never experienced before. And that cleared. So it's exciting. It's kind of fun to watch. Now, this is for those of you who have the blessing of a trained mapper for the protocol. If you've been able to go in to see Dr. St. Amand or Dr. Melissa Congdon, who are wonderful with the Guaifenesin Protocol and know how to do mapping, they will be such a huge help to you. There's also Cheryl Kowalewski in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and there's Victoria Mock in Hawaii, and there's others, but I can't think of them. So check out my website. I do have a list of some mappers that are trained. They're good enough to help you figure out your clearing dose so that you don't really even need a symptom journal. But the symptom journal does help. If all of a sudden you're completely symptom free and you can't figure out why, it helps to have it journal, because then you can look back and go, oh, right, I had that mint candy after that meal at the restaurant and I forgot about it. Okay, so if you have a mapper, this is my map, so I'm legally allowed to show it to you. Now I got to mark off all the things that I struggle with down here, and the doctor will map your body. Now this is not the same as mapping with the way that normal practitioners try to check your tender points. This is completely different. This is looking for phosphate deposits, and only people who are trained by Dr. St. Amand or Dr. Congdon, Victoria Mock or Cheryl Kowalewski, those are the ones that, I know there's more, but I can't think of them. Those are the ones that actually know how to do the mapping well enough that you can trust their dosing suggestions. Your dose of your guaifenesin, please note that I am not a doctor. I am not telling you how to dose your medication. I am not allowed. I'm giving you suggestions of what works for the protocol. A lot of times this guaifenesin, you don't even need a prescription. So don't feel like you have to see a doctor, but I definitely encourage you to try. Doctor, following your progress will be a really big help to you and hopefully an encouragement. But don't be surprised if they struggle with believing it. I have information on my website for a letter that you can bring to your doctor from Dr. St. Amand. It's also on the fibromyalgia treatment website, and it kind of explains the protocol in the kind of doctor lingo that they will understand and appreciate. So do see your doctor, do get a diagnosis, and do take their advice. I am not a doctor, just my little disclaimer in there. Okay, so your mapping will help you to see your left thigh. If you are seeing a trained mapper, they will know what lumps are from phosphate deposits, what lumps are just muscle knots, and they will be able to tell you when your guaifenesin is starting to clear those lumps away. So the way that you know that you found your clearing dose from a mapping is by the fact that your left thigh clears. So those lumps are gone. Now, if you don't have a mapper and you don't have that help, you go to your symptom journal and you check to see when the symptoms started to increase. When you see your symptoms start to increase, that can mean that you have found your clearing dose and you stay there. You don't need to increase your dose. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything. But this is how you know you found your dose. If all of a sudden, using your symptom journal, if you're not being mapped, this is an important part of using a symptom journal. If symptoms start to come back that had previously cleared, if your overall symptoms, like when you add it all up at the end of the page and your numbers have steadily increased over time, over the months of time, then you need to look and see if you are blocking on some salicylates. So you go through all your products again, things sneak in, it just happens. Definitely check your medications, your vitamins, make sure there's no salicylates and those things as well. Just take it one step at a time. Don't get stressed about all these things. You will be able to do it. Check out the links on my website. They'll help you and direct you to some more helpful items that you can download. There's lots of different journals. There's online journals. There's apps for your phone that you can use. I've got a whole list of them with some links and information on those. So check those out and hang in there. We're here for you. Check out the support group called Fibro Buddies on Guaifenesin Protocol on Facebook. You'll get faster answers there and more support and some emotional encouragement for you there too. So I hope to see you around and leave me a comment. Okay, bye-bye.